Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Ki Ata Hu Melech Adon Lecho HaShalom Ki Ata Hu Melech Adon Lecho HaShalom Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam B'tov be'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'choleinu v'chol sha'ah b'shlomecha Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Tasim Leolam Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Ki Ata Hu Melech Adon Lecho HaShalom Ata Hu Melech Adon Lecho HaShalom Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam B'tov be'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'choleinu v'chol sha'ah b'shlomecha Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Tasim Leolam Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha.
Everyone, welcome to Maryland. So where are we visiting from? Just yell it out. New Jersey. Are you sure you're not talking about the rabbi? Okay. Atlanta? Okay. Well, welcome.
We're the ones related to Carol and Bob.
Carol and Bob?
He doesn't know what you're talking about.
Yes.
I do.
Yes.
Okay, wrong person.
Yes, of course, Carol and Bob. Yes.
Karen and Alice.
Yeah. Aren't there kids' names? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, all right. We'll begin our service on page 5 with Shalom Aleichem as we welcome our visitors and our bar mitzvah this evening, this wonderful, warm, at least in here, Shabbat evening. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Nili Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedhem leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We turn to page 11. Lechun ranina l'Adonai nariya letzur yishenu. Lechun ranina, lechun ranina, lechun ranina l'Adonai. Lechun ranina, lechun ranina, lechun ranina l'Adonai. Nariya, nariya letzur yishenu. Nekadma bana betoda. Nariya, nariya, letzur yishenu, bizmiro nariya lo. Lechun ranina, lechun ranina, lechun ranina l'Adonai. Lechun ranina, lechun ranina, lechun ranina l'Adonai. Ki el gadol melech Elohim, Hashem Elohim. Bodish HaKavaviotam, L'bnei Adonai Eloseinu, Ki hu Adonai v'anachnu rito v'tzon yado. 40 shana kud bedor v'omar, Amto elevavhem, V'hem lo yadun derachai, Asher nishbati v'yapi, Im yevon el menuchati. Page 13. Shiru l'Adonai, Shiru shir chadash, Shiru l'Adonai, kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai, Shiru shir chadash, Shiru l'Adonai, kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai, baruch hu shemo, basu miyom leyom yeshuato. Shiru l'Adonai, baruch hu shemo, Basumi yom leyom yeshuato. Shiru l'Adonai, Shiru shir chadash, Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai, Shiru shir chadash, Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Sapru yevodo b'chol amim, Ibnotav noravu kol Elohim Adonai. On page 14, Yismechu Hashamayim. Yismechu Hashamayim, Hashamayim. Yismechu Hashamayim, Hashamayim. Yismechu Hashamayim, V'tagel haaretz. Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, V'tagel haaretz. Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam uvmelo. Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam umelo. Yismechu hashamayim. Yismechu hashamayim. Yismechu hashamayim. V'tagel haaretz. Libnei Adonai giva lishpot haaretz. Yishpot B'nai Tzedek. Amim b'emunato. On page 16, light is sown for the righteous and the joy for the upright in heart. We rejoice in God, your righteous people. Or Zarua. Or Zarua la tzadik. Ole Yisrael lev simecha. Or Zarua la tzadik. Ole Yisrael lev simecha. Simchu tzadikim b'Adonai. Behodu lezecher kodsho. Simchu tzadikim b'Adonai. Behodu lezecher kodesho. Turn in our prayer book to the top of page 18. 3 lines from the top. Zamru l'Adonai bechinor. We sing to God to the music of the lyre, the voices as we make music together this Kabbalat Shabbat. Zamru l'Adonai bechinor, bechinor bekol zimra, bechatzot rod, bekol shofar. Hariu libnei hamelech Adonai, yiram hayam umlo, teber veyoshvei ba. Neharot yimcha uchav yachad harim yeranenu. Libnei Adonai kiva lishpot haaretz yishpot B'nai Tzedek v'amim b'mesharim. Page 19. Adonai malach gezu amim yoshev keruvim tanud haaretz. Adonai b'tzion gadol v'olam gu ata mishpat taka b'yakavad ishsita v'yishtachavu l'Adonai adam ragav kadoshu el noseh adam li'atam. On the next page, page 20. Romimu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romimu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romimu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romimu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romimu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romimu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romimu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romimu. Page 21, Psalm 29. Mizmor leDavid, Havul Adonai b'nei lima, Havul Adonai kavod ma'oz, Havul Adonai kevod shemo, Ishtachavu l'Adonai behadrat kodesh, Kol Adonai hamayim, El kavod hirim, Adonai hamayim. המים רבים. קול אדוני בכוח, קול אדוני בהדר, קול אדוני שובר על עזים, וישבר אדוני את עזי הבנון, וירקידם כמו עגל לבנון, וסריון כמו בין רעמים. קול אדוני חוצב לבוטש, קול אדוני יכיר מדבר, יכיר אדוני מדבר קדש, קול אדוני יחולל הילוד, ויחשוף יערון, ובהיכלו כולו אומר כבוד, כולו אומר כבוד. אדוני למה הוא ישב, וישב אדוני מלך לעולם. אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. We turn to page 23 as we welcome the Sabbath bride, Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה, lecha dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה, שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשמו תפארת ולתהילה. lecha dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה, לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, היא מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. lecha dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה, מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה, קומי צאי מתוך אפיך, רב לך שבט בעמק הבכה, והוא יחמול עלייך חמלה. lecha dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה, הנה ערים מעפר קומי, לבשי בגדי תיבתך עמי, היה בן ישי בית הלחמי, קרבה אל נפשי גאלה. lecha dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה, התעוררי התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, אורי שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. lecha dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה, lecha dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה, lecha dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. לא תבושי ולא תקמי, מה תשתוכחי ומה תאמי בך יכסו, אני עמי בני ונטע יראתי לה. lecha dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה, והיו למשיסה שעושייך ורחקו כל מבלייך, יסיס עלייך אלוקייך כמשוש חתן הכלה. lecha dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה, ימין ושמאל תפארוצי ואת אדוני תעריצי היריש, ואין פרצי ונשמחה ונגילה. lecha dodi פני שבת נקבלה, בואי בשלום, את תראה בעלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, לך דודי. Right kala pene Shabbat nekabela. We turn to page 27, a psalm for Shabbat. Mizmor shir leyom haShabbat, tov lehodo la'Adonai, ulezamer leshimcha elyon, ulezamer leshimcha elyon, lehagir baboker chasdecha, ve'emunatcha balelon, alei asor v'alei navel, alei higayon bechinor. Mizmor shir leyom haShabbat, tov lehodo la'Adonai, ulezamer leshimcha elyon, ulezamer leshimcha elyon, leagim b'boker sehel v'alelon, alei higayon bechinor. On page 28 at the red arrow or triangle or whatever that thing is. Tzadik katama yifrach, ke'erez bavanon yiske, shetulim behevet Adonai, v'chatzot Eloheinu yavrihu, or enevun b'seva, tishenim rananim yiyu, lehagir ki yashar Adonai, tzuri v'lo Latabo, yalalai, 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 yalalai. Page 29. Adonai malach lavesh lavesh, osi tazar aftikon tevel bal timot. Naseu nehoron naseu nehoron kulam yisumikol marim. Mikol marim rabbi maririm ishmereyam, adir bamaram Adonai Elotecha nemnu meod lebeitcha navakodesh Adonai leorech yamim. And we continue our service with the evening service as we finish up Kabbalat Shabbat with the Mariv portion on page 39a. We rise for the Baruch Hu, page 39a. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vaed. Seated. Continue with the paragraph after. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, bechokma poteach she'arim, uvivuna meshane itim, umachaliv hazmanim, msader et hakochavim, b'mishmoteim ba'arkir kirtzono, bore yom v'lala golel, or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Umavir yom umevi laila, umavdir bein yom uvein laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo, Elchai v'kayam, Tamidim lo chalenu leolam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, Amariv aravim. Turn to page 40, and Ilan doesn't know it, but he's about to come up because he's doing this tomorrow night. Come on, Ilan, give us a little preview. Even though He's going to be doing this for the service for his brother. So Havat Olam. Page 40.
Ahavat olam beit Yisrael amhavta Torah mitzvot hukim mishmatim otanu limadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shachveinu u'v'kumeinu Hasiach v'chukecha Nizvach v'divrei Toratecha u'mitzvotecha l'olam va'ed Ki hem hayenu v'orach yameinu v'orach yameinu v'noram hagev yomam v'layla yomam v'layla Baruch Adonai Elohim Yisrael Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם ליום על ידיך והיו לתודה בו בין עיניך וכתבתם זו ביתך ובשעריך. Continue silently, 42. והיה אשר נוכים לסברת ובבך ויהי השמיים על הארץ ויאמר להם אשר לאמור אדוני אלוהיכם אמת אמת ואמונה כל צורך וקיים עלינו כי הוא אדוני אלוהינו ואין זולתו ואנחנו ישראל עמו. אמר בניו ישעשו את ועודביהם ואת שונאיהם בתמותי בה וראו בניו גבורתו שיבחו והודו לשמו. On page 44. ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ומרים ובני ישראל לחנו שירה ושמחה רבה ואמרו כולם מי כמוך האלים אדוני מי כמוך נדר בקודש נורא תהילות עושי פלא. מלכותך ראו בניך פוקח לבני משה זה עלינו ויאמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר כי ודע אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מי חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גיא ישראל. On page 45, as we ask God to build a shelter around us. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom vehamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ושלום מעתה ועד עולם. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים ופרוס עלינו את שלומך ודמנו את סוף דבר מפניך. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני, הפורץ סוכת שלום עליהם על כל עמו ישראל, ועל ירושלים. We rise, page 46. Bishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת. You have to do it if you're here. דורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ויעמד יברך חירותי ויעמד מלכותי בחיי כל וביומי כל ובחיי דכל בית ישראל. בעגלה ובזמן קריב ומרו יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם עולם ועמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתבער ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל השם בקודשה לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה בנחמתה דמירם בעלמא ואמרו Amen. We continue with the silent Amidah 47 to page 52. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. Page 53. ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישבות ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה, ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו, אשר ברא אלוהים, אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא, עליון כוני שמיים וארץ, מגן אבות בדברו, בחיי מתים במאמרו, האל הגדול שאין כמוהו, המניח לעמו ביום שבת קודשו, כי בם רצה להניח להם, כי בם רצה להניח להם, לפניו נעבוד ביראה ופחד, ונודה לשמו בכל יום תמיד, בין הברכות אל ההודעות, אדון השלום, מקדש השבת בורק שביעי, ומניח בקדושה לעמי קדושני עונג, זכר למעשה בוראשית. אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, רצי ונבחרתנו, קדשנו ברצותך, ותנוקנו בתורתך, סבינו בטובך ושמחנו בישועתך, ותהלי בנעמתך באמת, וענינו ביעבור רצון שבת קודשך. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. קדיש שלם, page 54. יתקדש וקדש שם מרבה, ועמד לברכנותי ומגמרקותי, וכיכון ומכון וחיי לכל בית ישראל, ועליו בזמן קריב אמרו אמן. יהי שמי רמב"ם מבורך לעולם עולמי עמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויברוך וישמע וינשא וידע 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 שמי קודשה. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תשבחתה ונחמתה ורבי עמה, ואמרו אמן. תקבל סוד הכל דבר תקון לכל ישראל, קדם ובוני וישמעיה, ואמרו אמן. יהי שלום הרבה מן שמעיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו Amen.
Not that short.
I knew I was going to go too far. I can.
No, it's fine.
All right. I can come
It's
back and
fine. We're taking this on the road, by the way. It's fine. So, the bubby, the grandmother, is walking along the seashore, Long Beach Island, by the way, with Tata, the little boy, and he's dressed like Lord Fauntleroy. He's got a suit, he's got a hat, it's a beautiful hat, and he's got everything you could want. And suddenly a big wave comes up and drags him off to sea. Yeah, it took a dark turn. Well, if you've never been to Long Beach Island. So she looks up to heaven and says, please bring him back. And without a further ado, another wave comes up and deposits him right next to her. Little wet, but in good shape. She looks at him, and she really looks at him, and then she looks up to heaven and says, he had a hat. Now, I have to admit that that story means a tremendous amount to me because, especially after Thanksgiving, because the concept of Thanksgiving is very hard for us. We give lip service to it, but we don't really understand what Thanksgiving is all about. At least many of us don't. And part of the reason is that we don't have the perspective of what it means to be thankful. And I have to admit, since it's, almost December, I think it's time for everyone to know that I don't really like sports. I talk a big game, but I'm not a really good sports fan. I used to be. But I got a little tired of the world crashing down when the Jets or the Giants actually took the field. By the way, you thought I was going after the Eagles today? No. It's your turn, Jets and Giants. So, and when I would see people who would live and die with their teams, and I understand that because I used to live and die with my team or my teams. But then something happened that literally changed my life. And that was I started traveling. And I didn't travel to the spots that you would think about for vacations. I traveled to some pretty crazy places. And I remember one of the first places I traveled to was in eastern Kentucky, showcase of the world, in Harlan County, Appalachia. It's the poorest county in the United States. And our congregation was doing work in Harlan County. We did it for about 10 years. And there was a school we worked in a little town of 800 people called McRoberts, Kentucky. And we went to the principal and said, what do you need? And she gave us this whole litany of what we needed. We had prepped for the trip. There were about 20 of us on this trip. And she asked that we provide her students with the ability to take field trips. And we said, sure. Where do they want to go? She said, we want to take them to McDonald's. I'm going to let that sink in for a second. The closest McDonald's, the closest fast food restaurant to McRoberts was 35 minutes away. And we said, why McDonald's? She said, because they've never eaten out before. These are 5th, 6th, and 7th graders. They've never had a meal outside a home before, and they don't know how to act. They don't even know how to use a fork. And so we provided for the next 5 years, we provided funding for these kids to be taken to different restaurants. Fast food places. And that was the type of experience we had. It all of a sudden changed perspectives. Because when we talk about Thanksgiving, we're not talking about being thankful not only for what we have, but being thankful for what we don't lack. And I must admit there are times when I am extremely distracted, because there are certain parts of the service that strike me very differently because they access memories that I have for some reason been able or not been unable, to use a double negative, to separate from these ritual objects, and Kiddush is one of them. You know, we say Kiddush, we say the blessing over the wine because wine is the symbol of joy. And you can't have a happy occasion without joy. And so therefore, we use wine to show how happy we are and that we are happy as well. And I can't help but thinking about the Ethiopian children that I worked with in Israel and finding out that they could not go to school because they didn't have writing instruments or notebooks. And when we went over to Israel, and this is a long time ago because now you can't do this, we would bring duffel bags of school supplies to hand out to them because they didn't even have the money for that. So Thanksgiving is a very special time for me because I try to remember all of the good things that are available to us, but I also remember what's not available to others. And ironically, as a last point, the people I have found who are most thankful for what they have and what they don't lack, and the people who are most thankful to God are those who work in hospice. Because working in hospice, you really do understand what blessings are. And you are thankful for every minute that you have. And I'm not talking about the patients. I'm talking about the caregivers. I'm talking about the nurses and the social workers and the doctors. They are the people who understand what Thanksgiving is the most. There is an English educator, his name was Lawrence Kohlberg, Kohlberg, and he was a soldier in the British Army during the World War II. And he was one of the one of the soldiers who liberated the concentration camps. He couldn't understand the human inhumanity towards other humans. And as an educator, he researched it, and he came up with what he considered to be a theory of morality, a theory of evolutionary morality, and it had 5 different steps in it. So for instance, let's say step number 1 would be, what gives a person authority? Let's say, are there any Boy Scouts here? I know. So let's say a senior patrol leader is dealing with one of the scouts and says to the scouts, I want you to do this. Does the scout have to do it? I was a senior patrol leader. You better do it. You know, it's your turn to gather wood for the fire. But why do you have to do it? Why do you have to listen to the senior patrol leader? By the way, I'm calling your scoutmaster immediately after services. Why?
I think he's asking you. Why?
Asher, I am definitely asking you. That's right. They're the authority. So on the lowest level, we have to deal with our authorities. A parent tells us to do something. We usually have to do it. And when the parent tells us to do something, when we're 3 years old, the parent doesn't have to tell us why as much as you have to do it. As we get older and older and older, doing the right thing hopefully becomes easy and becomes normative. And by the way, as an aside, that's one of the rules, that's one of the goals of scouting, which is to develop a sense of morality and a sense of doing the right thing so that it's internal within you, and you don't need someone to tell you what to do. And so Kohlberg said some people can be 80 years old and they're stuck on level number 1. They only do things because they're required to do them. And some people can be 13 years old and they can be in the highest level, which is why do we do the right thing? Because it is the right thing to do. And I believe that Judaism is very similar to that we try to learn that eventually, why do we do the right thing? Because it's the right thing to do, and we don't need another reason for that. So as we do Kiddush today, as we prepare for Kiddush, I'd like you to at least think about not only how bad the Jets are, happy now, but more importantly, why we do the right thing and why we should be thankful. So So we'll continue with Kiddush. I'll get
Please rise. We invite Daniel Cortez to introduce the Kiddush as well as our bar mitzvah. Daniel just had his bar mitzvah last week. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago. All right.
Andrew doesn't have much of a memory.
Yeah, I don't have much of. I can't remember what happened yesterday. Okay. All right, Daniel, come here. Okay, right in front of the microphone. There you go.
We recite the Kiddush on Friday night and Saturday morning at home and in the synagogue because it expresses the holiness of Shabbat, a day of rest and liberation. Chanting the Kiddush links us to our ancestors, brings blessing into our lives and homes, and gratitude to God. We now invite Asher Athens, who will become a bar mitzvah tomorrow, to chant the Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam berei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitchenu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reshit ki hu yom tehila lemikraye kodesh zecher l'tziat mitzrayim Kivanu v'acharta v'otanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha b'ahava uvratzon chinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. Amen.
Remain standing for the Aleinu on page 56.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol v'atei gedula v'yotzer b'reshit shelo asanu k'kiyei ha'ratzot v'lo samanu k'mitzvot ha'adama shelo samkelkeinu b'hem v'yor aleinu k'kol ha'monam v'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim l'ifnei melech malchei hamalchim hakadosh baruch hu she'unot hashamayim v'yosef haaretz u'moshe v'karov v'shamayim imav v'shkinatu zov v'shkinatu zov v'govei meromim hu Eloheinu Kakatu b'torato v'yatayom v'hashavota elevalecha ki Adonai hu Elohim b'shamayim imav v'al haaretz mitachah. Kakatuv b'toratecha Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed v'ne'emar v'chaya Adonai le'melech al kol ha'aretz Bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad Ushemo echad.
This week, we remember the yortzites of Nina Adler, Joshua David Berensweig, Byron Berman, Renee Cooper, Maxwell Davidson, Francis Goldberg Davis, Marshall J. Goldsmith, Helen Tamara Guterman, Ida Hamburg, Lillian Rosenberg Hurwitz, Armand Alador Lackner, Morris Morgenstein, Elaine Plant, Herbert F. Sachs, Rochelle Schneider, Evie Chantal, Moises Sterin, Marvin Wagelstein, and Mitzi Wagelstein. And we mourn with the families of those recently departed: Alan Robinson, Martin Roth, Sheldon Cass, Carol Copeland, and Joseph Herbert Silverstein. Will all those who wish please recite Mourner's Kaddish with me on page 58. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, b'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam le'olmei olmaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnoseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudsha b'riachu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran b'olma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. I'd like to ask our president to make the announcements.
Thank you, Rabbi. Shabbat shalom, everyone. And well done, boys, all of you, all three of you. Thank you. We had a little preview for tomorrow morning and a coming attraction for next year. And a follow-up from an expert. I would like to ask everyone to join Rabbi Bear in the Gage Boardroom for a variety of weekly adult ed offerings. Please note there will be no Jewish theology or philosophy study this Sunday, December 1st. But anyone who has been to Rabbi Bear's Torah study or any of his adult ed courses can verify that these are not to be missed programs. If you're interested in attending the special business networking breakfast, Startup Nation, Challenges in Israel, post-October 7th on Tuesday, December 3rd, please email Leslie Levin. You can find her email address on the website after Shabbat or in last week's e-Garrett. This event will be from 8:30 to 10 a.m. at an office boardroom in North Bethesda, I believe it is. It's of CB's team member, Randy Altschuler, and you will receive the address when you register, again, after Shabbat. Please join us on Friday, December 6th for Cake Pop Shabbat. Services will start at 6:30, followed by cake pops to celebrate birthdays, I believe. Bring your little ones to Tat Shabbat, featuring our dynamic preschool music teacher, Lisa, on Saturday morning, December 7th at 11:15. All are welcome to attend, not just the little ones. We sing, we dance, and we celebrate Shabbat. It's a great time. No offense, Rabbi and Cantor, but I'd rather be down there. Join B'nai Tzedek for the hilarious holiday musical, A Hanukkah Carol, or Gelt Trip, the musical, next Sunday, December 8th at 2 p.m. at Roundhouse Theater. Your whole family will enjoy this heartfelt riff on holiday classic that celebrates making the world a kinder place. Again, you can click on the e-Garrett for a QR code or go to the website after Shabbat. What is not noted here is Jay Hammer, former Board of Trustees chairman, is on the board at the Roundhouse and has brought this play to us. So please, let's support Jay and enjoy ourselves. The Sisterhood Gift Shop will be open for Hanukkah shopping on Friday mornings after Tat Shabbat, Sunday mornings from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., and Monday evenings from 7:30 to 9 p.m. If these times don't work for you, please reach out to Paula or Joanne for an appointment. They will be happy to meet you here at any time. Shabbat Shalom.
We'll conclude our service on page 62 with the Yigdal. יגדל אלוקים חי וישתבח, נמצא ויין היתר מציאותו, אחד ואין יחיד כייחודו, נעלם וגם אין סוף לאחדותו, אין לו דמות הגוף ואינו גוף, לא נערוך אליו קדושתו, כמו לכל דבר אשר נברא, ראשון ואין ראשית לראשיתו, הינו אדון עולם וכל נוצר, יורה גדולתו מלכותו, שפע נבואתו נתנו, אל עד שסגולתו בתפארתו, לא קם בישראל כמו שעוד, נביא ומביט את אמונתו, תורת אמת נתן לעמואל, היה נביאו נאמן ביתו, לא יחליף האל ולא ימיר דתו, לעולמים לזולתו, צופה ויודע סתרנו, מביט לסוד דבר בקדמתו, קומליס חסד כמפעלו, נותן לשרה כדרישתו, ישלח לגט שמין משיחנו, לפתור מקרקעי תשועתו, מתים מחייהו ברוב חסדו, ברוך עדי עד שם נעילתו, מתים מחייהו ברוב חסדו, ברוך עדי עד שם נעילתו. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Turn to your neighbor in front of you and back of you. Wish them a Shabbat Shalom. And join us for Hamotzi in the lobby.